Hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 1 in a series taking place here on Nomad Isle, as we have Happy playing up against Hawk. Alright, very excited to not give you a Night Elf versus Undead matchup. Had to go back to Gcup 69 in order to find a series that I did not cast. And I am still on the lookout for more and more replays, so anyone who has access to some of those replays, please let me know. Contact me on Facebook, and I will go ahead and continue to try and promote WarCraft 3. Otherwise, perhaps YouTube is a dying place for WarCraft 3 to be cast. But you know what? I'm still going to be doing it since, well, as long as I possibly can. Anyways, let's take a look at what Hawk's doing off over here. Hawk opening up with the Town Hall, and we'll be perhaps training up an Archmage in this matchup. Meanwhile, we should be looking at a Death Knight coming in from the Undead. Now, this is Nomad Isle, and there are only 3 spawning locations on this particular map. What does this mean? Well, I am going to speed things up just a little bit. It means that even if you scout in the wrong direction, you know exactly where your opponent is. It looks as though the Undead is going to come across the human base here, figure out what is going down as we now slow things down here. It looks as though, wow, are we going to see a death of a Troll Shadow Priest? No death of a Troll Shadow Priest. That Troll Shadow Priest down to 7 hit points and ends up surviving. All right, Archmage is going to do a little bit of chase there. Death Knight is there as well, unable to finish that off as the Death Knight does have Death Coil, and both sides are exchanging blows. Now, that Forest Troll Shadow Priest can abolish magic right there and gives a large amount of experience, getting another Death Coil there, and a big play by Happy to try and slow things down. Archmage now already with Boots of Speed. Meanwhile, the Death Knight, oh wow, the Death Knight does not get that last bit of experience from that Water Elemental, as the giant sea turtle or the sea turtle hatchling was the one able to deal that killing blow. Alright, level 2 now on that Archmage, getting a killing blow onto a skeletal minion. Death Knight now nearby here. You can see the Water Elemental has been dropped, but because the Archmage is now sitting at level 2, any sort of mana problems has pretty much been fixed. Death Knight now looking to get away. Skeletal minion could get taken down, already down to 80 hit points as Nightfall does break. Now, you can take a look at Hawk. He is getting up that scout tower here. He is now currently speed building a farm as he desperately needs to get unsupply blocked. Meanwhile, let's take a look at that. That speed building a farm there, that does cost a little bit more as more footmen are being trained. It looks as though he may be trying to do an expansion attempt eventually, as we now see the engagement coming down here. That Forest Troll Berserker, a very high damage unit, now being forced to head back. Are we going to see perhaps a Forest Troll Shadow Priest come in here in just a second, as you now see the Skeletal Minion Warrior? Forest Troll Shadow Priest has been hired, and there goes that Skeletal Minion there. Alright. Archmage is going to have his work cut out for him. That Forest Troll Shadow Priest does not have that much more mana, as the Militia are now being called over. Hawk doing what humans players do best. He is going to be going for an expansion here, as you now see the Renegade Wizard taking a bit of damage. Alright, Frost Armor quickly taking down that unit, as the Forest Troll Shadow Priest is going to be doing a little bit of running again. Alright, let's see what's going to be happening here. Death Knight does have enough for a Death Coil, does not get it off, gets a Peasant instead. Ring of Protection +2. Is it going to get picked up by the Death Knight, as the Archmage was unable to get into position at all? Skeletal minions now taken down, as the Militia are now looking to back around here. Alright, this Forest Troll Shadow Priest now down to 192 hit points, but will be able to get away. Archmage still sitting at level 2, and as we are now looking at the Town Hall and a Scout Tower, eventual Arcane Tower to be added. We can see there is the transition into Crypt Fiends. I do not know if Defend has been researched. Scout Tower is still currently sitting unupgraded at this stage, as the Archmage, Water Elemental, Footman, and Forest Troll Berserker are going to be playing a little bit of defense. Now, easy damage onto that Crypt Fiend, who does move a little bit slow. Death Knight just shy of level 2. And with that, he may try and go after a very easy green creep camp to get that last bit of experience. Alright, Archmage going after the 5-3-1 creep camp here. This will give the Archmage level 3. That is very, very important, as the Null Overseer taking a bit of damage there. All right, down goes that as the Archmage picks up Claws of Attack +6. Meanwhile, Death Knight now coming in from the top, and now the peasants are exposed, trying to get away as a little bit of damage is coming through. All right, poor peasant gonna run inside there, head back out, perhaps continue to build this town hall as the Archmage at level 3 with a 2-level advantage over the Death Knight, as Happy is going to be forced to retreat. Hawk is doing a great job in this matchup, pushing back this Undead army, but there should be a growing Undead army here. We can see a tech to tier 3. Lich is being added, Slaughterhouse being added, as we are 32 over 40. Death Knight may land a Death Coil off onto this Crypt Fiend here in just a moment, as we're looking at 39 over 54. All right, supply count 35 over 40. We see an Arcane Vault now being added in as well. Some healing is going to be coming in. Meanwhile, the Footmen are looking to engage here. The Death Knight really should have considered trying to at least get to level 2 somewhere. We could have a Frost Nova. There you have it. And we could have a bit of a death of a... No, the Footman able to escape. Not quite sure how that was possible. No, the Death Knight won. Death Knight did get a kill there, so did in fact get to level 2. There was 2 very low hit point Footmen. 1 fell, giving that Death Knight level 2, and that Lich is just starting his trek to level 2 as well. Archmage continuing his pressure here. He is now placing down a lot of pressure with these 2 level 3 or level 2 water elementals. 31 to 39 damage. That is piercing damage as a quick Frost Nova stops that Footman in its tracks. Defend on that Footman there, trying to reflect some damage back as the Archmage and the Forest Troll Berserker are fighting back here. All right, Water Elemental unable to get into position, and that's just going to be giving free experience to the Lich and the Death Knight right now. Lich and the Death Knight just benefiting right there. As you can see, a little bit more experience once again. 293 for that Death Knight. Lich about halfway, as we now see an Orb of Corruption given to that Lich for that very, very powerful -5 armor debuff. All right, there you have it. Death Knight now going to try and engage. Archmage now looking to back off here. Lich is going to try and engage here. There's another Water Elemental being dropped into play. But this is just easy experience right now, as the Death Knight has a very big advantage. There is really no reason for Hawk to even be here. He's going to lose some more units, and there it goes. And things are now starting to go right for Happy. Happy going after some units. Lich now getting up to level 2. Archmage is just not even halfway to level 3 any longer, as the Death Knight is starting to close up that gap. However, what do humans do best? They build towers, as the economic advantage is going to really start to show. You can see Masonry upgrade coming online. Keep is getting upgraded as well. And this is potentially going to be a problem. The Masonry upgrades no longer give 2 points of, or no longer give 100 hit points. They only give 50 hit points each, but they still give 1 additional point of armor, which does end up becoming a very, very big deal. Footman going to get caught in mid-transit there, as a couple of Footmen taking a bit of damage. Is that Footman going to perhaps throw up a defend to try and reflect some of that damage back, as the -5 armor debuff really hitting hard there. All right, Lich could be coming across. There's a Frost Nova there, as the more and more damage is still being used, going after a Vile Temptress now, as the Lich will most likely get to level 3. Archmage, not quite sure what Hawk is thinking here. He is, I guess, forcing the Death Knight to be away and keeping the Death Knight away from creeping, thereby keeping him at level 2, but that Lich is now at level 3, and that Panda with Breath of Fire is going to be incredibly strong. What we might end up seeing now is a transition away from Footmen, either into Arcane Sanctums with Spellbreakers, or well, a Blacksmith could indicate we could be seeing some sort of mech unit, perhaps siege engines, or maybe just for mortar teams. I'm really not quite sure, as the Lich with Frost Nova and Breath of Fire of Panda can really deal a lot of damage to that unsuspecting back line caught out of position. Archmage still sitting at level 3, picks up a Ring of Protection +2. Giant Wolf now taken down. Archmage could be using, uses a Clarity Potion, finishes that off. You're going to use a healing, Scroll of Regeneration, as well as Hawk looking to set up perhaps a third base in this game. Destroyers going to be forced to deal with currently 550 high armor high armor towers, as the Archmage once again just putting pressure away from where all of his expansions are. Mountain King gonna be joining in on the fight. We see an upgrade to Castle. There is that Blacksmith, nothing to show as of yet. As we are looking at the double workshop, it could end up being siege engines or mass flying machines. The flying machines will in fact do a lot of damage to the destroyers, and because of their sheer number, they can still fight very well against the destroyers, even if there is Crypt Fiend support. The Crypt Fiends cost 3 supply each. The flying machines only cost 1, and because of that, well, you can easily have 3 times as many flying machines as you do have Crypt Fiends. All right, easy damage there. It looks as though, wow, it looks as though the Tomb of Relics will stick around just long enough. Some repairs are now coming into play. One very low hit point Acolyte. Skeletal minions are now being forced to back off here. You can see guard towers are in position as we are currently just gathering lumber. All right, so the lumber mill here, as you can see, more guard towers being added, as we are now looking at level 2 masonry upgrade being done, sitting at 48 over 54. Now, Hawk's army is overall slightly smaller because he does have that many more workers. He's hoping to really capitalize on an economic advantage here, but his army is going to be rather small until he explodes into low, even perhaps high upkeep. Mountain King holding down the rear gets off another Stormbolt as the Lich unable to Dark Ritual to perhaps try and finish off some units. All right, Lich sitting at 105 here. You can see all the towers are ready to go. 53 over 54. Now guard towers are going to get pressured down very quickly. There goes one already. Panda now sitting at level 3. Another Breath of Fire could be coming in. Footmen are all in position. A turnaround Breath of Fire could be a big deal, as a whole bunch of peasants now getting taking no damage as well. All right, pushing very heavily. There goes a couple more units, and Happy is doing a great job pushing here. If he can perhaps finish off or save some of these destroyers, that would be a very big deal. Scroll of Restoration being used, as we now see perhaps the Panda will be able to land off another Breath of Fire, taking down some of those units. All right, there's the Breath of Fire, taking down some more peasants. Panda, however, losing some mana, now down to 183 mana, as the units are now looking to back off again. Human Tri-Hero is up. You can see a whole bunch of damage here. Are we going to perhaps see another Breath of Fire? There goes another tower. Two more towers are currently in the red, and then there are only 2 towers left. Panda doing a great job maximizing this. Are we going to see another Breath of Fire here? Yes, we are. There is another Breath of Fire, as the Panda, now out of mana, still has a Potion of Greater Mana, should be able to use that without a problem. Could head off to the north here in just a moment, as the destroyers are going to go ahead and engage right now. Mountain King trying to get into position. Destroyer overhead, able to see around these trees, as the Arcane Tower, or Panda trying to get into position. Is the Panda going to get there? There's a Breath of Fire taking down more peasants, and the Panda able to back off again outside the range of that Arcane Tower. All right, let's take a look at this. No more mana, big issue there. Panda getting feedback like mad. There's the Breath of Fire after another, after a Potion of Greater Mana, as this group of towers looks like they're getting destroyed. Siege engines are now out onto the field, taking down that last tower. Panda could get in a big Breath of Fire here, take down some more units, as this expansion will get shut down. Little does he know that this expansion is still already up. Great job by Happy to take out an expansion, but little does he know that he is still significantly behind. 53 over 66 for Hawk. Meanwhile, 56 over 60 for Happy. Expansion down over here. Green Drake getting focused down just a bit. This expansion will get finished off here, as the Panda going to be regenerating mana. Death Knight still, wow, another Scroll of Restoration, wow, as the Death Knight still has another Scroll of Restoration to use in these upcoming fights. All right, Lich pretty much at maximum mana now. Death Knight not so much, as it looks as though the workshops will be destroyed. It is now 7 gold a second versus 14 gold a second, but does Happy know that? All right, a siege engine about to make its way out. Is it going to get caught out in the field? There it goes. Can it get focused down in time? Oh, if the Lich had actually attacked it, perhaps it would have taken some significant damage, but no sign at all, as that workshop is finally going to get taken out here. All right, Masonry upgrade really proving their worth. Meanwhile, more workshop being added inside the base here. One knight caught out of position there. Will it be able to sneak back out of there? It should be able to. Meanwhile, Howl of Terror, Archmage sitting at level 4 looking to clear up this creep camp. Level 1 on the Mountain King and the Paladin. The Archmage sitting at level 4, so we will have plenty of mana at the very least, as the Panda now looking to engage down over here. Alright, Destroyers are in position. Could we perhaps see some Devour Magic? Oh, and this is going to be potentially a problem. Are we going to be going after some of those units? Go after some Footmen. You can see... Go after the Footmen. There we go. Breath of Fire trying to go after the Mountain King. Unable to do so. Expansion off over here. And you can now see level 2 Masonry upgrade. Is it going to get spotted? Yes, it will be. As the Death Knight needs to shut down another expansion here. Panda needs to get into position. Are we going to see a Breath of Fire? Yes, it is. There's that Breath of Fire. It is going to be able to focus down one tower already. Frost Nova onto all of those peasants. Panda now is in position. Going to be backing off. Perhaps needs to get a little bit more mana again, as we see Happy doing a great job going to town on this particular expansion. All right, needs to get a little bit more mana. That Panda moving around very, very fast. Are the Crypt Fiends going to be able to finish off some more units? Yes, you can see that the Lich is just doing a great job focusing down these units, but going to let some peasants escape. Not quite sure if I wholeheartedly agree with that, as Hawk is going to lose his second town hall. Happy doing a great job controlling these expansions, as we see Hawk has shut down any sort of expansion down across over here. 2290 compared to 2750. 67 over 70 compared to 50 over 66. Hawk has a large amount of gold in the bank, and also mining 10 gold a second compared to his opponent's 7. All right, Death Knight in position. Is he going to be able to finish off these units here? It looks like he's going to be able to do exactly that. Death Knight getting very close to level, or going to get closer to 5 as he finishes off more and more units. There it goes again. And now only a Ivory Tower is left. Lumber Mill being left behind here. Meanwhile, Gargantuan Sea Turtle has fallen. Wand of Mana Stealing being dropped, as we see Archmage, Paladin, and Mountain King venturing forth. All right, 2 Destroyers in the air. The Death Knight really needs to heal back up those Destroyers. Currently low on mana. Or what are we going to be looking at next, as the units are fighting back and forth? All right, let's take a look. A little bit of an animation there. Dark Wizard. You can see the Siege Engine does not have an anti-air attack, as the Panda and the Death Knight getting into position. Dark Wizard now taken down. Level 5 now on the Lich, as we see Drunken Brawler on that Panda. As we now look over here to the top left, Mountain King absolutely getting pummeled by these Granite Golems. Constant slow, but these Granite Golems are going to give a big amount of experience to the human army. All right, let's take a look at this. Mountain King now sitting at level 3. Paladin sitting at level 2. There goes another, as an Ice Shard being dropped. I do not remember the last time I saw an Ice Shard being dropped. An Ice Revenant. Revenant. Gonna be able to cast a Blizzard, as well as the Paladin now sitting at level 3. All right. The problem is going to be those Destroyers with Devour Magic. If they can devour the magic and take down that Ice Revenant before it really gets up and running, that is going to be a big deal. Archmage going to head back home, unload, perhaps heal back up. Flying Machines are now being added to counteract these Destroyers, as the Siege Engine is taking a bit of damage as it attempts to run away. All right, down to 331, down to 330, losing about 30 hit points an attack right now, as the Panda with Boots of Speed and now Ring of Regeneration should be able to catch up and take down this unit. All right, let's take a look at this. Boots of Speed on the Lich. Siege Engine now down to 164. Panda now trying to get into position, should be able to get in some attacks. There is the Breath of Fire, as there is only one creep camp, not this creep camp, not even really being left behind. Only the flying Hawk that is currently a little bit off anywhere. All right. Expansion attempts. No expansions anywhere at all. Is Happy going to be able to build up enough of an army? And he is looking about even on gold. So Happy is currently neck and neck right now, as the Death Knight just shy of level 5. Lich is at 5. Where we see a haunted gold mine currently coming into play. Flying machines, lots of them. Breath of Fire could be used. Death Knight now looking to back off here. Level 5, going up against a level 4, level 3. So definite hero advantage for the Undead. Flying machines are not upgraded at all, but there is enough flying machines to actually be concerned about. The Destroyers, if they have enough mana, should be able to turn this around. There's an Ice Revenant right there as we see the engagement going in. There's a Breath of Fire going across as the Devour Magic quickly coming down. All right, you can see the Knights just absolutely falling apart. However, the Destroyers now taking a lot of damage as well. Is the Destroyers going to get taken down? One Destroyer does go down. Another Destroyer could get taken down as well, as we are still having a very big fight off in the corner. All right, Death Knight still wandering around here. Drunken, wow, Mountain King quickly focused down after you saw the Paladin use Holy Light. Cooldown on display there as the Paladin now gets taken down as well. 2 level 3 heroes have been taken down. Staff or Scroll of Town Portal now being used to get everyone out of a very bad situation, as the Death Knight gonna be rushing off to here to take down this one guard tower. All right, back over here, this is the last real creep camp that is available. Haunted gold mine with nothing there. You can see, yeah, these acolytes need to make their way over, and we now see the Walk of Shame as the Death Knight going after all of these units. All right, there goes one peasant. There is the GG, as Happy takes game number 1 in this series over Hawk. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 1. Please stay tuned for game number 2.